Hi everyone, I'm Toby Israel. I'm the content manager at NuMundo, and I'm sitting down with Bryan. And,
Hello, nice to see you all.
and Bryan has been a NuMundoer from the very beginning, much longer than I have. And he's also the founder of Earth Journeys, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, Bryan, can you explain what is Earth Journeys and what is the training you have coming up this weekend?
Sure. It's interesting. My roots started with NuMundo, really building community on a global scale. Seeing eco-villages all over the world. And at the time, I was with my former partner, Shana Gladstone, and we had traveled for years to all these eco-villages and really wanted to just slow down and settle down and foster a community that could support each other more locally and regionally. So we decided to settle down in Southern California, and that's when Earth Journeys was born. It was like seeded from NuMundo in this global movement, but focused much, much more regionally in Southern California. And we've just been building community in the most grassroots way possible, just holding events, hosting talking circles. And so what we've evolved into is Earth Journeys is an organization that empowers leaders to make change in their local communities, no matter where you are. And we're all about ecological action. We're all about entrepreneurship. We're all about regenerative lifestyles. So to celebrate this, we're doing a facilitator training this weekend, actually, in the San Diego area, where we're going to support people in their public speaking abilities, in practicing how to lead groups. And yeah, everyone's going to walk away with confidence in leading their own workshops for whatever it is you're passionate about. But everyone who's showing up cares about the world and wants to make it a better place.
Awesome. I wish I was closer. I would be there.
That would be awesome.
So I have two questions for you. One is if you could explain what it means to facilitate, because that's a word that we use a lot, but I'm not sure everyone's really knows what that means. And then also who is a training like this for? Like who should be learning facilitation skills or leadership skills?
Yeah, so I love this question. So it's funny because we're sharing our facilitation training with everyone, and not everyone understands what it means. But to me, facilitation is learning how to create an environment and welcome people into a space, into an agreed upon format, so that people can intake information better, they can make their own discoveries, they can connect, feel comfortable meeting one another. It's really whatever you want to design into the space. And so we use this word facilitate to kind of describe that you're not an educator, you're not the teacher necessarily, but you're creating the environment or creating the space for people to thrive.
For me, there's a lot of humility that comes with sort of identifying as a facilitator, where not necessarily as the person who holds all the knowledge or the person who holds all the power, but as part of a collective effort to learn and grow.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the idea. And sorry, what was the second question?
The second question is then who is it for? This training, or in general, who should be building these skills?
Yeah, so I feel like in this day and age, there's so much technology that what's so greatly needed is people who really have those concrete social skills and those leadership skills to really stand out. And so I feel like everyone could use support in becoming a better facilitator. And it's really simple too. It's really simple to practice at home or practice with your friends, create your own practice groups. We've just decided to create a specific event around it this weekend in San Diego area. But for example, so let's see, if if you're working at an organic farm and you want practice rallying everyone at the farm to start a new project at the farm. This is you would gain from a facilitator training. If you are a healer of some sort and you want to move on from just working one-on-one with people and you want to start leading larger groups through a healing process, this is for you. If you're someone who is terrified of public speaking, which is many people I know, then this is probably for you. And these skills are they're just so universal in any career, any industry. So that's why it was so exciting for us to put this on. A lot of our offerings in the past have been really niched to eco-villages and sustainable living. And we kept getting the feedback of, great, we've learned these new skill sets, we've learned about permaculture, now we want to go out and change our communities, and we want to start our own projects. So, let's get there together, let's learn these skills.
It's the next step.
Yeah.
So looking back at your own journey into facilitation and into community leadership, what are a couple sort of like concrete practices that you found really helpful in growing as a leader and growing as a facilitator? What's something that someone who maybe isn't in the California area, can't make it to San Diego this weekend, what could they take home with them and practice and benefit from?
Yeah, so for me, what we were doing for a while was we were hosting monthly meetups in both San Diego and LA. And the format of these gatherings was they were free, and we pretty much brought like-minded people together, and we sat in circle and we gave everyone the opportunity to share about what's going on in their lives. And we did many other activities that help people settle in and feel comfortable and connect. But what was beautiful was it was so low tech. Our company is called Earth Journeys. We're all about connection with the earth. And so all we had to do was put the invitation out there, tell our friends, create a Facebook event, create a meetup account, whatever it was, and invite people out into nature. And it's like the magic happens if you create the invitation. So my suggestion would be, if you want to improve your skills as a leader and a facilitator, literally just start doing it and practicing it with people who you feel safe practicing with. So start with your close group of friends and create a format and experiment. So, see what feels good, ask for feedback, ask people, what did you like, what did you not like about this gathering, and continuously improve. So if you imagine everyone in their local communities just starting to communicate more and come together and organize around specific challenges or specific topics that people are passionate about, those information channels will increase. And, that's something that the internet helped us with, but I feel like we've gone so deep down this dark hole of the internet, and now what we really need is to rediscover our primal humanness in nature and our face-to-face contact skills. So that would be my suggestion, is to practice on your own and take that step as a leader to do that.
And I imagine some of it's really universal, but then some of it's very community specific. And you mentioned that Earth Journeys was sort of part of you and Shayna grounding back into your community and really focusing your work and your energy there. So while there's that universal level that everyone can draw from and apply to their leadership, their facilitation, I imagine that it's that practice or that seeing what works for your community, your circle, your specific challenges and solutions is a really key part of it.
Yeah, that's true. And there's lots of just basic frameworks or points to cover when you're leading groups that we go over in the training, but it's really easy to, just to remember them. Like, one of the most important things for me is to set the stage correctly and be really clear and explicit about what group environment everyone is entering, what we're all about to do, why we're doing it, especially in a lot of these emerging niche cultures in these eco-villages. I feel like there's a lot of assumptions that are made about what people's understanding about different language is or different practices. And so instead of kind of just assuming that everyone's on the same page and that we've all done this before, it's really good to create a safer environment for people who may feel a little bit uncomfortable coming into the room or the tree canopy or wherever you're gathered, and really just spell everything out and get the whole group on the same page so that everyone feels comfortable and ready to dive into whatever activities or information is about to be shared. So that's just like a little tip that goes such a long way.
Yeah, that's huge, I think, in making something feel inclusive and accessible to someone who's not already fully in a movement or in a niche.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're almost out of time, and I know you have to go soon as well. So is there anything else you want to share today about leadership, about this particular training, about your story?
Well, yeah, in general, when we were first talking about this topic, it just made me think about how, the word leadership is really interesting. I feel like everyone has a slightly different interpretation on it. And I just want to echo that I really believe that everyone is a leader. Even if you're hanging out with your family and you're the one who says, hey, let's all go out to the park and play kickball or something like that. In that moment, you're a leader. And it's not to say that you're only a leader if you are constantly telling people what to do or getting supporters, or you have a large following or something like that. I feel like in all different dynamic environments, we're constantly stepping into the leadership role and out of the leadership role. So for me, it's more of like a muscle that you can exercise. And so instead of just kind of watching the news and feeling depressed about everything that's going on, it's like, well, the more I'm able to put myself in a leadership position and really support those who feel like maybe they're not capable, I think we all need to step up as leaders all the time. So, just want to sound that bell. And also, we just released a really, really amazing video. It's 1 minute long on our facilitator training. It's inspiring just to watch on its own, so I'll post it in the comments right after our talk. It's so fun. My friends, they're DJs, and they started out in Chicago, and I got their permission to use the song. So it's like, yes.
Awesome. So yeah, fun. People have been really enjoying it, so that will be in the comments. And I love what you mentioned, that leadership it's not about size or quantity or power, because I think a mistake we sometimes make is thinking that leadership is tied up with ego, and it's really not. And it's not about necessarily reaching as many people as possible or leading as many people as possible or becoming more powerful as a leader. It's about, I think, a quality of communication and interaction and holding space and community building.
Exactly.
And I see you guys doing that and really honor what you're doing in your community.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And often when I'm teaching about facilitation, I talk about how oftentimes the smartest thing to do is to take a step back and let other people shine so that the group can really feel that cohesive, collaborative energy. So really excited for this weekend. We're going to be at an organic farm just outside San Diego. We have about 15 people signed up. We have 5 more slots open. It's called the Facilitator Training, and we're at earthjourneys.org, which I'm sure will be in the comments also.
Cool. Thank you so much, Bryan.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much,
everyone
Toby.
for
really
tuning
appreciate
in.
Having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
See y'all next time.
Bye.